Stand by, Dean.
Let's go live to SeaWorld, where Dan Gummersall is joining us for a sneak peek. Hi, Dean. Tell us about the new show.
Good afternoon, Richard. The new show is Whale and Dolphin Discovery. What it does is it shows the relationship we have between all our animals here at the Whale and
There's so
Dolphin
many
Stadium.
things that were told to us that they tell you so many times that you start believing it, you know?
So all the animals here get along very well. It's just like training your dog, really.
I was blind, you know. I was a kid, you know. I didn't know what I was doing, really.
Nice. Good job.
I just really bought into what they told us. You know, I learned to say what they told us to the audience.
Hello out there! Children are some of Shamu's biggest fans. We can do just about anything we want.
I thought I knew everything about killer whales when I worked there, you know, and everything about these animals. I really know nothing about killer whales. I know a lot about being an animal trainer or a killer whale trainer, but I don't know anything about these animals' natural history or their behavior. I really, in some ways, believed a lot of what I was learning from them because why would they lie?
Because the whales in their pools die young, they like to say that all orcas die at 25 or 30 years.
25 to 35 years.
25 to 35 years.
They're documented in the wild, living to be about 35 or mid-30s. They tend to live a lot longer in this environment because they have all the veterinary care.
And of course, that's false. We knew by 1980, after half a dozen years of the research, that they live equivalent to human lifespans. And every other potentially embarrassing fact is twisted and turned and denied one way or another.
So in the wild, they live less. And then
like the floppy dorsal fins.
25% of whales have a fin that turns over like that as they get older.
Dorsal collapse happens in less than 1% of wild killer whales. We know this. All of the captive males, 100%, have collapsed dorsal fins.
And they say that they're a family, that the whales are in their family. They have their pods, but that's just, you know, an artificial assemblage of their collection, however management decides they should mix them, and you know, whichever ones happen to be born or bought and brought in. That's not a family, you know, come on.
You've got animals from different cultural subsets that have been brought in from various parks. These are different nations. These aren't just two different killer whales. These animals, they've got different genes. They use different languages.
Well, what can happen as a result of them being thrown in with other whales that they haven't grown up with, that are not part of their culture, is there's hyperaggression, a lot of violence, a lot of killing in captivity that you don't ever see in the wild.
For the health and safety of the animals, please do not put your hands in the water.
It was always sort of this backdrop, this underpinning of tension between animals. Whale-on-whale aggression was just part of the daily existence.
We ask that you use the stairs and aisleways as you exit. Please do not step on the seats. These areas may become wet and therefore slippery to some footwear. Thank you.
In the wild, when there's tension, they've got, you know, thousands of square miles to exit the scene and they can get away. You don't have that in captivity.
Could you imagine being in a small concrete enclosure for your life when you're used to swimming 100 miles a day?
Sometimes this aggression became very severe, and in fact, whales have died in captivity because of this aggression.
I think it was 1988, Candu trying to assert her dominance over Corky, rammed Corky. It fractured her jaw, which cut an artery in her head, and then she bled out. You know, that's got to be a hard way to go down.
I saw that there was just a lot of things that weren't right, and there was a lot of misinformation, and something was amiss. And, you know, I sort of compartmentalized that part of it and did the best that I could with the knowledge that I had to take care of the animals that were there. And I think all the trainers there have the same thing in their heart. They're trying to make a difference in the lives of the animals. You think that if I leave, who's going to take care of Tillicum? And that's why I stayed. I feel sorry for Tillicum. I mean, if you want to get down to the nuts and bolts of it, I stayed because I feel sorry for Tillicum. And I couldn't bring myself to stop coming and trying to take care of him.